friend asked me the other day about the dust extractor that I use, and I have the Fein Turbo I. There's also a Fein Turbo II. The only difference between the two is the capacity of the dust storage, which on the Turbo I is 5.8 gallons. On the Turbo II, it's 8.5 gallons. They both come in at 151 CFM, 15 amps total with the onboard auxiliary power. I think it's 9 amps for the vacuum itself. And then the decibel rating is the same on both. It's 66 decibels, which is what really separates the dust extractor from a typical shop vac. They are much, much quieter. They're fairly efficient, and they just tend to be a better build quality. So I use this a lot, and actually it's probably the most used tool in my shop. I hook it up to sanders, the domino. You can run it with routers. It's actually really good with like the mini routers. Track saw, I use it all the time with the track saw, and that creates like no dust whatsoever. Another nice thing about most dust extractors is they have a bag, which means you're not clogging up a filter, and you don't necessarily have to have a dust separator on it. It has like a 19-foot power cord on it, I think, and about a 13-foot dust hose. It's all pretty standard sizes. I usually have the flexible adapter on there. Similar to the Dust Right flexible adapters that you can get from Rockler. And sometimes I'll switch this out and put the Rockler ones on there too, because I've got Rockler as well. This works really well with a lot of common ports, so it works really well with this Bosch sander. Fits the domino perfectly. Fits my Makita track saw perfectly, so that's really handy to have. Also works really well with the extensions that come with the kit itself. All right, so I need to change the bag on this. I bought some replacement bags. I bought the PowerTech brand. You can buy the Fein Turbo ones. PowerTech is just a little bit cheaper, so I'll change bag. Show you how easy it is to do that. And this is bowl. But if you can see, there's hardly any dust inside of there, and really what dust is there, I just put there when I pulled that chute off. So, all right, it moves on. So it's just a little bit of a flexible, almost like a rubber band type fitting around this cardboard port. And the Fein is the same way. There's a lip on there. Get that in, kind of lay that bag out like that. Make sure everything is tucked inside. See, my filter is still in really good shape. These do have a HEPA filter on them. HEPA filter if you're so inclined. Okay, and that's it. New bag is in place. Okay, so on the front, you'll notice there's 3 different settings here. Middle is off. This is going to turn it on. And I apologize, the exhaust is like right next to my microphone, so it's going to sound kind of loud. And then the other setting is for the onboard auxiliary power. So if I hook up my sander, which is the thing I have connected to it most of the time, this will take up to, I think, about a 6 amp tool. And I'll connect this. So now when I switch this over to auxiliary power, when I turn on my sander, it's going to automatically turn on the dust extractor. And then it runs for about 10 seconds after you shut off the tool to make sure that you clear everything out that's already in the hose. It's fantastic. That's how I use it most of the time. I'll switch it to on when I just need to do a quick vacuum around the shop. But for the most part, I'm using this with hand tools that are plugged directly into this. The domino plugs into this. Sanders, I use this, and then I've got a Surf Prep 3x4 that I hook up to it. Track saw. The track saw I don't plug into this because I have a cordless. I think probably your average track saw, if it's corded, is going to be a little bit too high of amperage. So you'd have to plug that in separately and turn this on and off yourself. But anyway, it's great. I love this thing. It's very compact. I usually have it underneath my workbench, and it just stays there, and I can reach all around my shop. That's kind of central in a two-car garage. I can reach all around the shop with just the stock hose that comes with it to be able to vacuum the whole shop. So yeah, all in all, I like it. I am not affiliated with Fein at all. I paid for this with my own money, and I really have like zero complaints about this. It's even got a little bit of a tool tray up here, which I find really handy. I end up setting my sander up there all the time when it's under the bench. The tools that come with it, dust brush, crevice tool, and these things I'll just slot into a spot on the back, and that's it. So yeah, highly recommend.